Good evening all. And let me start by saying that sheep rappelling you saw right at the start of the video is something I seem to have got really good at over my last few trips. Not intentionally, I've got to say. I actually love sheep, but they take one look at my sweaty face, they turn and they usually bolt the other direction. I try not to take it too personally. But the one thing that hardly ever happens during a teacher half term, which I'm lucky enough to be enjoying this week, are conditions like this. And I'll stop for a sec and just show you where I am, give you the 360. I've headed deep into a valley called Deepdale. Look at it. It's that time of the day now where you get that beautiful, beautiful light on the rocks. Stunning. Yeah, I've started this journey a lot later than planned. It's already gone 8. I mean, we're heading into June now, so we're nearly at the longest day. Still got plenty of daylight left, but yeah, all down to a tyre issue on my car. I won't bore you with the details, but yeah, I had to get it to a garage before I took the drive north. Yeah, for safety. But not going to moan too much. I've still got no idea where I'm going to end up camping tonight, even though you can see it at the top of the video. In the real world, I've got no idea. But the bivvy's packed, so I've almost got unlimited choices. So with that in mind, I think I'm just going to follow my nose and see where we end up. The climbing's always worth it for views like that. Whew. Still we're heading skywards, doing battle with gravity. You can see the views actually. The views are amazing. I keep saying it, I know. But you can see the lights changing all the time now. It's just before 9, so I've got about half an hour of daylight left. And just under a kilometre to go until I reach a place which I believe is called Grisedale Tarn. If I've mispronounced that, I'll check it out on the map. And when I'm there, hopefully I'll get there. I'll correct myself if I got it wrong. But yeah, the only thing that's not great to see is this mountain behind me. I've still got to get up there. It's not as high as it looks, probably only 100 metres or so, but still, it looks steep. And I'm actually quite hungry. I just fancy some dinner. I'm just pleased that I've got my bivvy. So when I do get up there, it's going to take literally a couple of minutes just to set camp up. And hopefully I can just chill and relax. And most important of all, enjoy a beer. I'll see you up there. Yep, that is Grisedale Tarn. And as always, it's further away than I hoped it would be. But I don't know, if I got my skates on, you could probably see there's a path just down here. If I got moving, it probably wouldn't take all that long to get down there. And yeah, the original plan was to head up there in the morning for the sunrise. That is, of course, the Helvellyn range. It looks absolutely stunning at sunset. And yeah, you've got Nethermost Pike there, and then Helvellyn, the highest point, just off in the distance. I think Helvellyn, it's either the second or third highest mountain in the Lake District. So it's one of those that you've got to do, haven't you, I suppose? With weather like this, no better time to do it. But I was also thinking about maybe heading up there. Wasn't the original plan, but that's well over 800 metres as well, and you probably still get amazing views. Decisions. When I come back to you, I would have made my mind up one way or the other.
So yeah, eventually I made it to the tarn. I found a nice little patch right next to the shore. And as I scanned around, the first thing I couldn't believe, other than the beauty, was just how many other wild campers there were. I guess with conditions like this, it was to be expected. But still, there were tents in pretty much every direction I looked in, and even tents sort of further back from the shore as well. And it's for that reason I didn't do an awful lot of filming. Maybe it's just me, but I always get a bit self-conscious filming myself when there are maybe other ears listening in. But it didn't matter. Priority is really important, so I enjoyed some food, and of course that beer as well went down very, very well indeed, as I just admired just how still the conditions were. It really was incredible. Sat for another hour or so, and as it got dark, it was time to retire. And yeah, here's my sleep system for the night. Of course, I was using the bivvy with such settled conditions, and it was great just laying there looking up at the night sky. Although the early start meant I didn't get an awful lot of sleep.
Good morning all. Well, it is currently 10 to 4 and I find myself about 740 metres up the mountainside. Have I lost the plot? That is a question. One thing I can tell you though is that I am not the only lunatic to be up at this ridiculous hour. As I was packing my stuff away at that stupid time of about 3:15, yeah, I must have clocked about 4 other lights heading up the mountain opposite. I'll just stop for a sec. I don't really much of an excuse to get my breath back. There is the Tarn, a long way below us now. And yeah, they were heading up that mountain behind us. Don't know the name of it, but yeah, they've got the same idea in mind as I do, which is to catch the sunrise. Now, if you're watching this as a regular mountain climber, then you'll know just how amazing these sunrises can be. But if you've never seen one, hopefully I can do it justice this morning. I reckon it comes up in about 45 minutes or so. Not too much climbing to go, but yeah, one thing I've also learned, getting up at this silly time, is that the old saying, the early bird catches the worm. I reckon that applies to sheep as well, although in this case, the early sheep catches a lunatic hiker, or they catch the early breakfast. Just amazing. Did they actually even sleep? I'm not sure. Some of them were still making a racket at about 11 o'clock last night as I was trying to get down for some sleep, and walking past them now, most of them are awake. Anyway, enough about the sheep. Keep doing battle with gravity, and I'll see you somewhere near the top.
So thankfully, the terrain eventually levelled off, and I reached a kind of ridgeline where off in the distance was the summit of Helvellyn and that beautiful sort of pre-sunrise light in the air. But I stopped just before it at a place called Nethermost Pike. It was a large plateau at 891 metres, and there were several cairns sort of scattered over the area. But I found the highest one, placed a rock on the highest point, as I usually do, and then stood and just admired the view, ready for sunrise.
Well, what can you say with views like that? Look at it. Stunning time of the day. I love the clouds down here in the valley. Yeah. A little ridge you can see behind there. I believe that is called Striding Edge. Sort of makes its way out from the summit of Helvellyn, which is just behind me there. I think it's a bit like Cribgoch, hopefully not as technical, because that looks like probably my easiest route, well, my quickest route down. We'll see how we get on there. But yeah, I've got to say, I'm so pleased to have got up. You know, I always question my sanity when I'm getting up at such a stupid time. But yeah, I find this time, you know, views like that, and this time of the day, it's just so good for the soul. And for me anyway, I find it incredibly good for my well-being. Be interested to see any of you watching this who enjoy a sunrise or a sunset, sort of how it affects you as well. Drop comments below. Yeah, I'm going to push on now towards the summit of Helvellyn. Not too much further to go. You know, where I was 891 metres above sea level, and I've only got to get up to about 950. So not too much climbing. Bit of breakfast at the top, will be well deserved. I'll see you up there.
Yep, that is the stone shelter on the top of Helvellyn you can see there. Before I could reach it, I of course met some more of the locals, enjoying their vegetarian breakfast at silly o'clock on the third highest mountain in the lakes. I tell you, it doesn't seem to matter how remote you get and how high you go. The tough ones of the hills can be found just about everywhere. But yeah, of course, they took one look at me and legged it, as is typical. So alone, I headed to the summit. And I dropped everything and was very, very pleased and relieved to get my hands on top of the trig point. The views from there were absolutely incredible. But before I could properly enjoy it, I realised how hungry I was. You know, I'd hardly eaten anything since I've been up at that ridiculous time. So yeah, I was really, really relieved to have the stone shelter there. So I tucked in behind it, had some breakfast, and then I noticed that the clouds had come in to treat me to one of the best cloud inversions I think I've ever seen. It was absolutely stunning. And all I can say is it was almost like being on another world. You know, all of the valleys that had been there earlier just disappeared. Beautiful. And then just like that, the clouds seemed to vanish and the views opened up again. And I could make out the route I was planning to take down. It looked quite steep, but yeah, they could see the path heading all the way down to Red Tarn. It was stunning. And as I got nearer to Swivel Edge, which was the route I was taking, yeah, you could see it looked pretty steep and narrow. but nowhere near as precarious as the route I was going to take, striding edge on the other side of the tarn. Leave that for another day.
Well, there we go. I've made it down off of Swivel Edge. That was actually great fun in the end. You know, there's still quite big drops each side, but nothing too technical. Yeah, with these conditions, stunning views. But yeah, relief still to get down. Looks pretty easy now most of the way back. Gonna head down to Red Tarn, and I think from there, it looks like there's a river that sort of feeds out of it, and I'm going to follow that back. So I'm hoping to find a little swim spot, maybe a little plunge pool at the bottom of a waterfall, either have a bit of a dip, or at the very, very least, take the shoes off and have a bit of a paddle. Either way, I'll see you down there. This is not a bad place to finish, is it? I'm in Patterdale, not too far from the car, and yeah, the path I've taken, I very nearly didn't take. But I saw a sign that said waterfall walk, and yeah, I was intrigued. And yeah, I'm glad I took it. This is gorgeous. Fresh when I got in, but absolutely glorious now. I will say here, thanks ever so much for watching. If you got to this point, thank you for sticking with it. And as I always say, don't forget to click like and subscribe. Always much appreciated. It goes a long way in supporting the channel. I'll see you probably in about a week's time. But yeah, in my world, I've got to decide where I'm going later. It's night number 2 in the Lake District. Who knows where I head? I'll catch you soon. See you later.